Hi guys, for today's session, we'll be talking about Lentor Modern again, but more of what happened after the launch. So, as usual, disclaimer, whatever I share today, just based on my own point of view and own research. So, please do a due diligence before you make a move. And then, let's see. The performance of Lentor Modern, I think it was very, very well published by now. First launch, or rather launch weekend, I would say. They sold 84%, which is very impressive. I feel it should have been lesser, but there was quite a big change in terms of price expectations. Possibly because of the two land plots. They just came out on the same week right before their launch. So probably I would say Guaco was being forced to lower their price expectations. If not, they're going to be very having a very tough time facing the existing owners next year when these two launches, because this one is still under their own watch, right? But you've got this guy over here who is a newcomer in this area already. Guaco is taking back this one. And that probably makes it very difficult for them if they want to price high. And therefore, previously they wanted to in fact the indicative that they gave us was much higher, and turned out that the actual day unit prices were lower, not say much lower, were lower than what they indicated previously. And it's a very normal classic case of trying to overstate the asking the indicative price, and then when the consumers all get their numbers excited already, and then you lower the price of more. So people think that they're having a very big steal, because me initially I'm expecting 2003 PSF. Wow, then come out 2001 PSF. And they feel that wow, this is too big of a steal already. I cannot let go of the opportunity, especially if I got a very good number. And hence they just jump in blindly, lor. And because to them it seems like, compared to other developments today, I'm buying at this wow, 2000 and 2000 PSF. People are telling me now, OCR 2000 PSF is cheap. And literally just at the start of this year, previously, no matter how it was sold out, RCR, yes, it may be a little bit further away from the MRT, but it's still within 1K from the MRT, and it's still not that far away. But after all, it's still RCI. If you drive to town, it's much closer. And then we've got people claiming, complaining, wow, Commenton selling high floor, by the way, 1008, 1009 PSF, wow, so expensive. And then now, less than half a year later, I have people telling me, wow, 2000, 2001 is still in OCR. And that is something that is very, I feel very contradicting. Because the thing is, when people they feel the excitement, wow, integrated development is a premium, wow, we gotta pay a premium for that, and then they bring up, other people going to bring up the irrelevant examples of water town, blah blah blah, and they you should see how water town was launched, what kind of price, how much break even, and at that point, you see the entry price they were entering at 1,001, 1,002, and then now today you're, I think like 10 years later, you're entering twice the price. I think that is something that you will need to be thinking about before you rush in, lah. But then again, there are a lot of misinformed buyers. Their agents just telling this, and they assume that you just go online, go to the typical property review sites. They go and look, wow, this one says good, that one says good, there's so-called guru says good, okay lah, I think this must be a good buy. Wow, the finishing also not bad, I wouldn't say that the finishing here are top notch. I think to be honest, it's still a little bit lower than my expectations. But then again, it's still quite a decent development overall, in terms of like a face value, in terms of how nice it is in terms of for the show flat. I'm not talking about the macros, which I already made clear in my videos about time before that. These are the ones that actually make the money. Okay, so you got Singaporeans making up 92%, and foreigners and PR making up remaining 8, which is rather surprising. But then again, there are not many stocks left in the market, so I wouldn't be actually surprised that more and more foreigner and PR are going towards the OCR region. Okay, and we really talk about this, and probably I believe this guy is the reason why Guapo was forced to lower, and hence people, they feel that they got to steal. But let's not talk about it. The main important thing over here is that we need to factor in that there are two more land parcels coming up, and actually much more coming up in the area soon, because I believe that the government is really watching this area very, very, very closely, and they wouldn't want the prices in this area to be running haywire, because it's obviously not going to reflect well if OCR 99 year is going to be selling that high of a price in the very, very near future. And then hence the is I think to me it's very obvious why they are suddenly launching so much land. In fact, I cannot think of a certain example again, where in which part of Singapore they are launching land such an aggressive rate. So this is probably the most aggressive that I've ever seen. And would I put my money there? I think that goes without saying. Please go and watch my previous video if you think so. If you think that is worth. But then again, let's see how it performed. End up the average price was around here, which is very close to where Amo residences are. And in my own point of view, I feel if you compare this and Amo, I probably feel that Amo is still a better deal compared to this. I'm not saying that it's all good. But if you compare both together side by side, I think I would definitely still choose the earlier launch one lah. Okay, given a variety of factors, but that's not the main topic that we're going to be sharing about today. So overall, the average PSF seems to be 2125 average, and then the range you got 1008 all the way to 2005. If you got somebody in the same development entering at 1008 for a non-pair house unit, and then you've got another guy entering at 2005, I think I seriously have no idea what this guy was thinking, man. 2005 for Hussein 99 year. When you got a neighbor who entered 1008, come on, man. I really hope that this guy is just buying because he really loved Lentor. He really loved to stay in the area, and he is not thinking about investment point of view. Let's just face it, you're thinking, and there are two people like to classify into, I'm a rental kind of investor, I'm a capital gain kind of investor. But ultimately, why are you investing? You're investing to make money. But if you are just purely, never mind, I'll lose capital gain, never mind, as long as I make rental income. If you're making that puny amount of money from rental, and then you're trying to um stay above water with all your interests, maintenance fee, property tax, income tax, and then also managing all the nonsense with all the tenants, and then you've got all your maintenance, I mean not maintenance fee, maintenance of the flat wear and tear, this kind of thing. After all you net everything, how many of you actually got very, very, very good income after you got a net? So, and let's say finally you got maybe, let's say, a net of maybe $500 to $1,000. That means maybe each year you're making $6,000 to $12,000. But if your property crashes, it crashes maybe $50 to $100,000, $100, $200, $1,000. Then what for you want to put your so-called go for this so-called rental income? Because this rental income is trying to reduce the overall capital gains loss. It's not, yeah, we are not even talking about the buyer's stamp duty. And that is something that a lot of people fail to realize, because to them is they see money coming in terms of rental. They think that they are making money, but they totally forget about the hidden costs behind everything. So does that mean that property cannot make money? No, it's not true. It's just that the problem is that people oversimplify things. People oversimplify that, it's MRT, freehold, good schools, they must be able to rent out. Once I rent out, it becomes a very good investment. That is totally wrong. Because if you sit down, please take the time to whip out a calculator and sit down with a piece of paper and calculate your net cost, you realize it's not as simple as it is. So this guy, I really hope that he's just buying to stay and he really loves Lentor. If that's the case, then fair enough. That is good for him. But if he's buying for investment, I think he just pray that he gets very, very good luck next time that he can sell higher. Or not say sell higher, maybe he can sell higher, but maybe at most, as long as he can break even, I think everybody got to salute him, man. And then we are looking at 3 bedroom. I'm not going to be talking too much about 4 bedroom because I don't see too many of them being transacted. So I don't think that's very good data. You got the 4 bedroom, the 3 bedroom over here. Somebody already 2002 plus. You may think that it's a steal, but then again, remember I just mentioned just now. You got some of the RCRs we got some RCR earlier this year selling 2008, 2009. In fact, Avenue South was selling very extremely high for 2002, 2003, or maybe even less. And people will complain that it's high. And now you're talking about OCR, just for the MRT thing. Let's not talk about how many times I mentioned being near MRT doesn't always justify the premium. Then we got all these people claiming that it's cheap rushing in, like it's nothing like that. And then overall, 3 bedrooms, we've got 2,000. Later we'll take the chart. We'll take a look at the chart at the resale, and then we'll see again. Or rather, might as well just remind yourself. We've got the rest of your competitors at this range of 1,005 and below currently. Okay, over here, 1,005 and below currently. And then you're telling me 2,000 plus with a 500 plus PSF gap from all these freehold guys over here. You're telling me that this 500 PSF is a very safe gap. Let's just hope that all these guys who got it just buying for, to buy for own stay lah. Two bedroom is worse. So apparently the 2005 guy didn't come from a one bedder. It actually came from a two bedder, which is surprising because usually of the lower quantum developers are able to charge higher PSF and people will still be able to accept, right? And because they know that there's a hell lot of demand going for two bedroom nowadays, so they managed to they managed to check it up to 2005 and people actually are still buying. And guess what? It's all sold out. 1,800 plus, or not 1,800, but 1.8 plus million for RCR, oh no, for OCR 99-year leasehold. Wow, let's give our hands to the new champion of the OCR. I think we've got to salute this new OCR king, man. Okay, and then we've got a one bidder. In fact, this guy is almost a full 100 PSF lower. The champion of the one bidder is almost one full 100 PSF lower than the two bedroom champion over here. Okay, and then you've got two guys who went above 2,004 for one bidder for this kind of price. And I remember people still complaining about Avenue South 2004. Let's make this clear. It's not about just 99 that one not near MRT. Come on, guys. ASR got much better potential in the area compared to this. You don't actually have much of a supply problem over there. You've got a hell lot of supply problem over here, and then people are rushing in like it's the best deal ever since sliced bread. Okay, I'm just very amazed. I mean, pardon me, but usually I'm not so excited, but just purely amazed by how people are rushing into this development. Just because it's like the mega launch, people are actually, people are just starving for integrated development. And I'm very sure when Far East launches, what do you call it? The Jalan Anak Bukit, it's probably going to be the same thing, or rather, not say same thing. If the RCR can be launching at this price, how much do you think Jalan Anak Bukit will be launched at? I think, and and we need to remember the guys. Everyone tend to forget that developers have 5 years to sell their unit. They are not in a rush. They are not actually in a big race to go for. Hey, who's going to be selling out 100%? Not everyone is trying to be a Amo. In fact, I don't even think that it's good for the developers because the fact that you sell 98% or 100% on the first month, then how are you going to push out the price? And how are you going to widen your profit margin? So not everyone is trying to do that. And when you don't do this, how do you benefit the current owners? Because most of the why people are actually buying new launch is because you are riding on this wave, but you're riding on the developers pushing out the price for you and hence pushing out valuation. But if you sell out everything at the start, chances of you going up like this with the help of developer is almost close to none. So you are relying on the power of resale. Then might as well you go and buy a resale. So actually, it may not be a good thing to be rushing into everyone, and it may not be a good thing for you to be buying something that is selling out so early. In fact, one of the most successful I've shared before already, we've got forest residences that actually sold pathetically less than I think 2-3% on the first day or the first weekend, and it boom, it became the most successful most successful launch or in the COVID period. Okay, and this is our dear Patrick over here is like what most of the buyers that weekend were like. Just put a nice legal sticker on them, and then as long as they get on the first day, it must be a good deal. And from what I know, they already pushed out the price before already on that launch weekend, and after the launch weekend, they also pushed up the price. That means those, and if I'm not wrong, those three bidders, quite some of the price were pushed up quite drastically. Yeah. So if we are looking at it just from a pure PSF point of view, you may have to think twice again. So hopefully you don't end up going all the way to Mordor for those guys over here. But anyway, for those of you who are already into it, then well, you already made a purchase, then good luck to you. Hopefully we'll see how's the performance like for the other land parcel. I think that will be the most interesting one, and I'm very, very sure the developers the few developers over here there are definitely going to be watching that area very, very, very carefully, as well as many other developers in other areas, because as long as Lentor area is selling even way, way more expensive, it will trickle down, the effects will definitely trickle down to all the other parts of Singapore. Okay, and please remember, because of the supply in that area, just because you bought a so-called very, very nice view on the first day doesn't mean that it's always easy for you to exit next time. Because remember, you've got some of the other examples in your CCR, RCR, OCR. Let's take a look. You've got your CCR area. You've got this guy who is 99 here. You've got all these guys that are freehold. And then these guys are slowly climbing up, and then even the purple one is slowly coming up. And then you got this guy going slowly coming down, going the opposite direction. This guy ultra luxury to the moon, man. Whereas you got this one going like this. So I'm not saying that Lentor Modern. I don't think Lentor Modern will be swimming like this. Probably stagnant, or maybe even snail pace. But I really don't think Lentor Modern will be going this lah. I mean, based on the fundamentals of the place and based on how much it has sold, it's very unlikely that you'll be reaching. Come on, today you're selling at 2,000 plus for OCR already. Can't be they climb to this level where it becomes an average of 2,500 PSF for the rest, right? If that is so, I will really clap, man, because both of my current investment properties will definitely be brought up by this whole wave. So I'll be cheering for you. I'll be cheering that the for the Lentor Modern buyers, everyone of you will be exiting at 2005, 2006. I really hope so, because they will definitely help my two investment properties to fly. Definitely. So I'll be rooting for you. Don't worry, I'm not trying to curse you. I'm not trying to hope that you're dead. In fact, I'm trying to pray that you succeed, so that your success will spill over to our success. Okay, and then you've got RCR area in the Amber area. You've got Silver Sea finally managed to go up over the past 10 years. In the last 2 quarters, go up a little bit, came down. Then the rest are Freehold, Seaview, Light Up, and then Amber Residence going out a little bit, Esta, and also one Amber over here. Okay, so you can see this is the only 99 guy in the Freehold. I mean, why would we want to buy a 99 in a Freehold area? I think you're just, it's like letting a mouse jump into a whole den of lions, And then OCR region, the other side of where Hillview is. This one is a 999, and then this one is a Freehold, and then this one is just sold out a few months ago, 99, 99, 99 resale, this 299 resale, this one just sold out new launch. Went up, came down like this. I'm very sure the owners wouldn't be existing owners wouldn't be very happy to be seeing this. I mean, I wouldn't put my money in this kind of area. Yes, it may be early to tell, but as long as you're going down like this, I think it may not be that nice of a sentiment for the owners lah. Then you've got this one, mixed development, walkable to MRT, still very walkable to MRT. So I don't really see much issues when it comes to public transport over there. Of course, some people may say Hillview may be a little bit jam here and there, but it's still walkable to MRT lah. Come on, and then you've got quite a lot of options, food options, amenities, convenience in that area. Yes, that's why you've got but then again, you see what happened to Hillier lah. Okay, Kingsford Hillview Peak also not much movement, went up, came down a bit, but average you can see that it went sideways. On the other hand, you've got these two guys over here moving, trending upwards. And even though they are old, but can you imagine the old one, the much older one has already overtaken this guy over here, which is a resale, but much younger, more than 10 years younger, and but the old guy has really overtaken. Why? I mean, it's the same thing again. Why would you go and be the mouse in a den of lion? That is something that bugs me lah. Uh, but there's a lot of sales nonsense going on when it comes to hyping this kind of project. So, but a lot of people are not actually very savvy about it. They don't really know what's going on. But that's too bad because they do. I would say they do not do their due diligence, or they just follow market blind because people are buying and that's why they are buying. And that always reminds me of this face that Patrick also is. Patrick is always showing. I mean, I love how dramatic this character is, but that is really how a lot of buyers seem to me when they go to show flat. I always don't believe that show flat is where you make your purchase. Show flat is where you go to the show flat. Show flat is where you go to finalize a purchase. You should be looking at the macros of the place and knowing that, hey, this is a good project. This is, maybe I should consider blah, blah, blah. And then I go to the show flat to go in. Okay, more or less pretty much this is what I'm going to be expecting. Minus the deco, minus the here and there, my furniture here and there. So because I'm going to be getting a white wall, but what kind of finishings am I going to get? Okay, that's what are the other units I have, and then I'll go ahead and choke. If you're going in just, wow, this one looks nice, that's why I should be buying, wow, the skill model looks nice, the swimming pool looks nice, then I think something is very wrong. I mean, come on, which show flat is not nice? Most of the developers show flat are gorgeous, man. Come on, they are definitely way better than my house. Okay, and this is the last before I finish. That is I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Federal Reserve in terms of the interest rate. They're raising 75 basis points for the third time this year. And this is going to affect a lot of market sentiment. In fact, if you follow the stock market, it's been crashing like nobody's business. Am I expecting it? Yes, definitely, because I'm monitoring the stock market. Like I mentioned before, I have a 6-digit portfolio over there. So I do monitor, but then again I monitor because more of how does it affect my home loan? How does it affect the market sentiment overall? So the first to hit more of is maybe the resale market, because when they finish completion, full money someone comes in, and probably this is why the new launch market is still so hot, because people don't feel it. People don't, they feel like, oh, there's still time, if I can save up the money, I don't get hit by this high interest rate because of this new launch. And even if I buy into something that's already building, I don't pay full blast at the start, and hence, new launch market is really going to be determined more of by supply and also by the entry price rather than the interest rate. Whereas the resale market is probably going to be affected more directly by the interest market. And if you look at HDB resale, prices are still inching up, but the volume has been dropping, and I can feel for myself that the resale buyers or viewers, they are the amount of them, the number of them are actually reduced compared to the earlier part of this year. So that is something that for those of you who are thinking of cashing out or waiting for the market to pick some more before you cash out, this may be something for you to think about, whether you should be cashing out already, or you want to wait for the full blown impacts of the Federal Reserve actions to be felt. Of course, if you're feeling fear, I'm definitely feeling fear. But am I feeling a lot of fear? Not really, because I'm already expecting right from the start that interest rate is going to rise. And when I saw the letter, wow, increase for how many percent? In fact, my interest rate just doubled. Am I sian? Definitely sian. I mean, come on, who want to pay money to the bank then? But it's definitely within expectation. So I'm just like, oh, okay, it's finally come. So at least I'm prepared for it. Am I going to be doing a fire sale? No, definitely not. And am I going to still be looking to stop my plan to buy another one when I save up enough money? I seriously don't think so. Because when time is right, opportunity is there. I don't wait or for for the perfect condition, or the world has stabilized, there's no war, there's no interest rate is back to almost zero. That's why I buy property. In fact, that would be probably where the market is really bullish, and I like to be buying when the market is feeling weird. Okay. So definitely this one is going to be affecting the market. But the thing I probably would like to highlight is that because we are already now, before they announced this, there were already people having interest rate of close to or above 3.0%. And our TASR is based on 3.5% per annum assessment. And if they increase by this amount, and if MAS really do follow, or rather the banks really do follow, will our TDSR get revised? Is it gonna get worse? And if it's gonna get worse, what may happen is that either the market may stagnate, which probably will be similar to a cooling measure effect, because essentially interest rate is US way of curbing housing over inflation. But in Singapore government probably is gonna let this help them control. But at the same time, because of the higher interest rate that is going to be coming, will TDS get revised to a higher extent? I think if this happens, market may actually be cooled down some more. But doesn't mean that you will have a fire sale. I think that will be something that is still quite unlikely, because at most people just tend to be more thrifty. They tend to be more frugal because they don't want to have a fire sale, and hence um or what's gonna happen is that they okay lor, then if the market is not sentiment is not so good, then I'll just hold, I don't sell, I wait lor. So it becomes like a waiting game. And but the thing is, if TDSR becomes worse, what who will get affected is more of those people who need that maximum 55% TDSR to qualify for the loan. And if let's say this drops to maybe a 50%, I'm not saying that this is gonna happen. I'm saying that there may be a chance that it's gonna happen. In fact, government has already preempt this. That's why they dropped from 60% to 65 to 55%. But will they drop further? Is a question mark. Okay, nobody knows for sure. If not, I will be working here. I'll be probably working with the government. Nobody works for sure. Nobody will knows for sure. But if that's the case, that means these people who would need this maximum 55%, they'll be wiped out of the market. That means that there will be a reduced demand. But will the market crash? Not really, because there are still a lot of people waiting to enter the market, especially people who are cash rich and their loan are easily able to support more. Because we do have, most people wouldn't not say wouldn't, most people do not need to stretch their maximum 55% TDSR. Probably some of them are 40%, some of them are 45%. So they are still well able to afford. And hence, when this happens, these people may still take advantage of the market. But if you're the one that will be falling within this range, then you have to be careful. When the market finally cools, this may be what you're waiting for. But if you're caught in this range, you're the one that's being caught, then it is definitely not a good thing for you. So you have to be very careful, especially if you're trading on this line. But if you're trading on those like 20% TDSR, because whatever you're gonna be buying is 20% to maybe 40%, then you're safe lah. But if you're like this, you have to be very careful. Okay, I'm just saying this may be probable impacts. I'm not saying it's gonna be happening. If it actually happens, then well, maybe I'll be the oracle man. Okay. So that is the impact. But I really don't think that this will be here to stay for very long. I really don't think so. In fact, this should go away within the next up to 1 year plus, because of how the market is really overreacting. In fact, the Dow has already dropped down to 30K and below. And let's see how far you will go. I also hope that this whole frenzy is going to cool down. It will help also, because I do agree that there's a lot of fear in the market. There's a lot of frenzy, but it's a little bit too much. But the Federal Reserve is trying their best to curb inflation. Okay, and that is what we have to share today. Any other things that you may want to highlight, or you want to find out more, then feel free to text me directly. And I'm pretty sure you can find me very easily anyway. So that'll be all for today. And see you guys. Bye bye.